Good afternoon, everybody. So glad everybody could come and see our little program. The preschoolers today would like to share one of their favorite books that we had this year called The Mitten. And they're going to do a little play with it. And after that, we'd like to sing a couple songs for you. And then after, I want to tell the parents to please have the kiddos come back to the room because I have a little something for them. And I'd like them to clean out their cubbies because they have Christmas goodies in there that you'd like to have, I'm sure, over the Christmas holidays. So. And at the end of the program, we're going to let the children stay up here for a little bit to give you some photo opportunities. And then once that's over with, then you're free to go. You guys are free to go right after. So, I want to thank Patty, and she's the principal of the school, for actually having us here in the school, because we sure like it, and for everything that she does for us. And Ann Keats is the music teacher. She's going to be on the piano for us today. And everybody else from behind the scenes, and we're just going to go. Okay. So our story, The Mitten, starts out, it's about a little boy, Nicky, who his grandmother makes mittens. She's a wonderful knitter. And Nicky wants to have white wool mittens. He really wants white ones. He doesn't want any other color, just white. Well, his grandmother's trying to talk him into another color because she's afraid when he goes out into the snow, he's going to lose those mittens in the white snow. But Nicky was pretty strong-headed, and so his grandmother did make him some white mittens. And sure enough, Nicky goes out to play that day, and one of his mittens falls in the snow. And this is what happens. A couple of moles, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so they decided to stay. Three snowshoe rabbits came hopping by. They stopped for a minute to admire their winter coats. It was then that they saw that mitten and they wiggled in, feet first. The moles didn't think there was enough room for all of them, but when they saw the kickers on those rabbits, they moved over. Next, a couple of hedgehogs came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, they decided to move into the mitten and warm themselves. The moles and the rabbits were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered in prickles, they made room. As soon as the hedgehogs disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the moles and the rabbits and the hedgehogs grumbled, but when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Up through the snow appeared a badger. She eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The moles, the rabbits, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left. But when they saw her diggers, they gave her the thumbs up. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotted by, stopping to investigate. Just the sight of that cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in, and when the moles and the rabbits and the hedgehog and the owl and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up, and not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged in many times its size, but Grandma's good knitting held fast. Along came a couple of field mice, no bigger than acorns. They wiggled into the one space left and made themselves comfortable on top of that great big bear's nose. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the air and scattered the animals in all directions. And on his way home, Nicky saw it, this white shape in the distance, and it was his lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. Thank you. To say that the preschoolers did an awesome job. They've never practiced this on the stage, so this is all new, but they're pretty resilient. We have a couple of songs to sing for you. Our first one is "Oh Candy Cane," and the second one is "We Wish You Merry Christmas." Now we wish you a Merry Christmas. And that concludes our program. Can you take a bow? Nice job. Now, if the the parents want to come up and take some pictures, or where you're at. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year.